Hey everyone, we are back with another Game of Thrones review, and we're reviewing the third episode of Season 5. And so far this season, I'm happy with the season. It's been kind of steady, steady and even. I haven't been blown away by it, but I haven't been bored like I was last season.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely better than last season. This episode today is alright. And it was kind of underwhelming a little. But they do have a lot of story that they're building.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's probably why it's a little underwhelming right now.
The thing that does concern me is the story is building very, very slowly, and they only do 10 episodes a season, and this was the third episode. So they're down to 7 now. We have 7 episodes to really get something going, for the payoff at the end. This episode, my main takeaway from it was, what the hell is Littlefinger's endgame in this? Because he's betrothed Sansa to Ramsay, and Ramsay's an asshole. He has no redeeming qualities, although he's playing Mr. Nice Guy right now.
But, in Littlefinger's defense, Ramsay is recently Lord Ramsay, which means nobody knows anything about him.
Yeah.
So Littlefinger probably has zero idea what he's doing
Yeah.
with Sansa. He's trying to make a buck, trying to make some allies and some friends so he can call in favors. I kind of wonder if Littlefinger's end game is to kind of become king himself, but in a very mysterious background way.
Back door, like he's trying to sneak in.
Because he's slowly gaining more and more power.
Yeah. But I from season 3, I guess, the end of season 3 on, I've really thought he had eyes for Sansa.
And I still think he does. I almost wonder if he has a plan to deal with Bolton. Mm-hmm. Because I think his end game is to marry Sansa.
Yeah.
I still think that is
it's
his
part
end
of his
game.
plan.
Yeah. I still think he wants to marry Sansa. And I don't know if he wants to split the realm and be king of the North, or if he wants to actually...
Well, he has the Eyrie right now. He's the Lord.
He's Lord of the Eyrie. So I don't know what his end game is.
I'm really interested to see where they get... That was the most interesting part of this episode. Is like, man, Littlefinger's always thinking 5 steps ahead. And sometimes as a viewer you can go, okay, I can kind of see where he's going. Here, I really can't. So that's very, very interesting to me. And we got some more of Arya's story, and her story is starting to really gear up. I'm now to the point where she is at where I am in the books. So from here on out, I don't know what's happening with Arya.
Yeah, Arya's story is really, really good from the books. It's just interesting for a lord and a lady's daughter to be undergoing this journey. It's if they do it right, it's going to be really interesting to see how she transitions.
And see who else. We got Jon Snow, and Jon Snow had to execute the coward guy.
He's such a boring character. Kind of... I recognize him, but I don't know his name. I don't know who he is.
He's a completely worthless person.
He's a very forgettable character.
And I was happy to see him die because I've never liked that character. I recognize him from previous seasons. I just don't remember what he did. And he said something about, I was something when you were, still pissing your pants or something like that.
Yeah, he was doing something in King's Landing while he was still in diapers, basically. But, yeah, he's so forgettable.
Yeah. And now he's dead, so we don't have to, deal with him anymore. Which, I thought that was a really important scene for Jon.
Yes.
Because he really had to assert himself as Lord Commander.
Especially since he shot the wildling he was burning. Mm-hmm. It kind of showing him mercy. He needed to toughen up after that act. For us... That shows how, it shows his honor and shows his goodness. But in a commanding position, it shows a weakness. So I think this helped kind of redeem him in some of their eyes. You can't fuck with him because he's
Lord Commander.
Yeah, he is Lord Commander. And if you disobey an order, you will pay the consequence of disobeying that order.
And it paralleled the first episode with Ned Stark when he had to behead the guy who went AWOL from the Night's Watch. And so to see Jon Snow kind of paralleling Ned Stark a little bit. That I don't know if that's foreshadowing anything.
In the book, he actually mentions you don't give an order to execute somebody without doing it yourself. That is mentioned in the book about the scene. So that's what he was thinking is this guy needed to be executed. I'm giving that order, therefore I must execute him. That is totally straight from the book. And I'm glad that came across because I was like, I already know about it, so am I just...
And it's totally a lesson from Ned Stark.
Yes, totally.
So, who else did we see?
Tyrion.
Tyrion in this episode. We got very little bit of Tyrion in this episode.
Yeah, a little bit.
But, oh my gosh.
Tyrion's story in the show is different from the books. Varys? Is that
Varys.
okay? Varys.
The bald guy. Yeah.
Yes. Varys is not the person who takes this trip with him in the book. So it's kind of interesting that he's with him for this journey. But otherwise, it's basically going the same, right down to Ser Jorah capturing him.
I was wondering if we would see Ser Jorah again, and I'm kind of glad that we did because I really liked him as a character, and I was genuinely bummed when Daenerys exiled him.
And this story gets awesome. It gets so awesome. But what I like so much about this is he's on his way to the Queen, and Ser Jorah is capturing him to turn him into the Queen.
Yeah.
So basically, he's just changed the journey a little bit. So instead of being stuck in a box like he was with Varys, now he's going to have a little bit more interesting of a journey.
Tied up on the back of Jorah's horse.
Yeah, so I'm kind of interested to see how they take this story.
Right, I'm excited to see where Tyrion's story goes, but right now for me the most interesting story is by far Littlefinger because I just can't figure him out.
We also had Marjorie and Tommen were married, and I have to say I love Marjorie.
Oh my gosh, she's such a bitch. I love her.
Yes, she is so... She's such a nice bitch, though. Like, she has Tommen wrapped around her finger, and she knows exactly how, like, she says things like they're compliments, knowing that he's not going to take them as compliments. Like, oh, your mother's never going to leave you. She's going to be here forever, and she just loves you so much. It's so great. And knowing that he's going to be like, oh my God, yeah,
she's
my
never
mom...
going to leave.
Yeah. So, that's really cool.
And she can push Cersei's buttons like she's a fucking typewriter.
Yes,
oh my God. It's so...
I got the impression from this that Cersei is afraid of her right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, from that episode, I'm like, Cersei's afraid of Marjorie. And just from a cosplay perspective, Marjorie's second wedding dress, oh my God, it's so gorgeous. I'm like, I hope there's some more pictures because she was barely in it. But it was really, really pretty.
And speaking of Cersei, you mentioned something while we were watching.
Yes.
They're doing something really interesting with her makeup.
I don't know if anybody else has caught this.
From last week's episode to this week's episode, she looks like 4 years older.
Yeah, they are making her, with her makeup, they are making her look older with every episode. Go watch the first episode, then watch the second one, watch this one. She's getting older every time, and it's awesome because it really works for the character. She's under a lot of stress. Yeah. Marjorie is just basically pulling the rug out from under her, which is kind of where that scene in season 1 or episode 1 comes in, where the witch tells her a more beautiful queen is going to take your place. This is why she's remembering that and being like, oh my God, it's coming true.
Right. And I think she probably senses the futility of everything that she does.
Yes, yes.
I think that was basically it. If we missed anything, put it down in the comments and we'll continue the conversation. We love it when you guys comment and mention things that maybe we didn't notice, or you have theories that we haven't thought of yet. That's really great, so put that kind of stuff in the comments. Also be sure to like and subscribe. And we did really good yesterday. We got our Saturday topic of the week up. So if you haven't seen that, be sure to check that out. I think it was a pretty good topic. I will link that right here so you can check that out. And so yeah.
If you have any other topics that you would like us to discuss, make sure to put those in the comments as well. That way we have a topic for this Saturday or the Saturday after that.
It doesn't have to be, anything Game of Thrones, or if you...
It could be anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
If you look at yesterday's topic, it doesn't have to be anything, necessarily controversial. Just something that maybe you find interesting, something that floats your geeky boat. Put that in the comments, and we'll take a look at all of them, and then choose the one that we think we can make the best video from. All right. That's it for this time. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.